started as motorists waiting for the streetlights to change. When the light changed, the music started and several ballerinas leaped into the street, twirling and twisting in front of surprised drivers. There they are. The 58-second show, the duration of a Mexico City traffic light, is part of a theater company's attempt to brighten the days of motorists at snarled intersections in the sprawling megalopolis, notorious for its clogged roadways. And bright costumes. That would help your commute, wouldn't it?
Yes. We're just laughing about trying to figure out iPad, iPod, what was it? Walkman?
I have Android, I don't know. That's our time for now. News Street 5 starts right now.
Right now at 5, a little over 2 weeks away from primary election day in Wisconsin. We'll tell you how you can now vote early.
Plus, a reality check on Democratic candidate for governor Kelda Roy's claims about abortion.
And a story of triumph and facing the odds. Situated in a very non-traditional way.
This is News 3 at 5.
Thanks for staying with News 3. We are just 15 days away from primary election day, and absentee in-person polling places are now open at 9 Madison libraries.
The group being encouraged to vote early this year, area college students. Amanda Quintana is in the news center with why it could be more difficult for them to get to their polling place on election day. Amanda?
Yes, well, that's because Election Day is the same day as Move-Out Day for both the University of Wisconsin and Edgewood College students. Now, this can make things a little confusing, but the clerk's office says changing your address the day of the election does not mean you can't vote. It takes 10 days to establish residence, so as long as you move within 10 days of Election Day, you still vote at your old polling place. Students who are especially civically engaged probably know this and are already planning ahead, but not all do.
People really realize like the importance of this election, and I feel like all it'll take is just like people knowing where to go, and then once people realize, they'll be like, oh, this is easy, like it really won't interfere with my move out day.
Groups like Next Gen Wisconsin, along with the UW, are trying to make sure students know about their other options, like voting early or absentee. A spokesperson with Next Gen told me with the unprecedented engagement we're seeing from young people, he is confident that this little challenge will not stop them from voting.
Amanda Quintana in the newsroom. Amanda, thanks.
Well, we're taking a look this week at political ads that you're likely now seeing for the Democratic primary race for governor just more than 2 weeks away.
Friday, we looked at an ad for Matt Flynn, and now Jessica Arp takes a look at Kelda Roy's claims about abortion in tonight's reality check.
Democrat Kelda Roy's has made women's health a key issue in her campaign, so it's no surprise her first TV ad emphasized abortion rights.
Just when you think it can't get any worse, it does.
There was a lot of discussion when President Trump was planning a nomination for the U.S. Supreme Court about the fate of abortion decision Roe v. Wade and whether a Trump appointee could alter the court and potentially reverse the key case that makes abortion legal throughout the country. It's not entirely clear how nominee Brett Kavanaugh would rule on an abortion case. Other fact checkers have found he hasn't written or ruled on many abortion issues. But the question in some states has become, what could happen if Roe is overturned?
In Wisconsin, abortion is still a crime. And I can't believe that I'm having to fight the same fights that my grandmother fought.
This is misleading. There is a statute on the books in Wisconsin from 1849 that makes it a crime to perform an abortion, but that law has not been in effect in the state since Roe v. Wade took effect in 1973 and ruled that laws like Wisconsin's were unconstitutional. Should Roe be overturned, that could change. But the bottom line is, it is not currently a crime in Wisconsin to have or perform an abortion. I'm Jessica Arp with this News 3 Reality Check.
All right, let's get a look at your first alert weather, and look who's back, fresh off a trip to Alaska. Gary Kinalte joining us. Gary?
You know, as in Fairbanks, they were setting record high temperatures in the upper 80s. It was about 10 degrees warmer up there than it was down here during that period of time. But our temperatures are right around where they should be. We're seeing some pop-up showers and thunderstorms. Let's start out by taking a look at visible cloud track. You can see how those little showers and thunderstorms blossomed up in a few areas this afternoon on radar. Look at all the flashes of lightning, but look at all the dry areas in between those showers and storms. We zoom into southern Wisconsin right now. It looks like the most concentrated areas of showers and storms are moving through Dodge County. County, where there is a flood advisory in effect for some heavy downpours, as well as parts of Grant and Lafayette counties. Low temperatures this morning started out pretty comfortable in the middle to the upper 50s. Milwaukee started out at 60. Current temperatures are dependent on whether or not it's raining nearby or where you're at. Temperatures range from the lower 80s, where the sun is shining and the rain isn't falling, to the lower 70s, like here in Madison, where we've had some showers roll through recently. Dew point temperatures are in the upper 50s to the lower 60s, so it's not terribly humid. By tomorrow morning, look for temperatures to drop into the upper 50s. We'll be in the lower 60s by 7 a.m. and then lower 80s by tomorrow afternoon. We will see some pop-up showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon, and that'll be the case again for Wednesday. That's your first alert forecast.
All right, thank you, Gary. One person is dead after a motorcycle crash in Richland County. The Sheriff's Department says it happened Saturday afternoon on State Highway 56 and County Highway A. They say 47-year-old Kevin Graham of Mazomanie was driving a motorcycle. The driver of a pickup truck was turning left when Graham collided into the front of the pickup truck. Graham's motorcycle went into a ditch and he was pronounced dead at the scene. The driver of the pickup truck was not injured. The crash remains under investigation.
Investigators are looking for the cause of a fire early this morning at a business in the village of Friendship. That fire destroyed the Friendship Bar and Bowl. The call came in just after 1 a.m. The Adams Fire District Chief says firefighters used a machine to pull the walls down to get better access to the source of the flames there. They stayed on scene for about 8 hours battling the fire. No one was inside when it started. No one was hurt.
The Fort Atkinson man who police say took his children against the wishes of his wife has been found more than 800 miles away. Fort Atkinson police say 35-year-old Hui Zhu and his 3 children were found safe in South Carolina. A statewide crime alert sent Saturday said Zhu called his wife and said he was at O'Hare Airport in Chicago and was going to take his 3 children to China. The release said his wife asked if he wanted her to pick the children up so he could go to China alone, and he disconnected the call. Police confirmed Zhu and the children never boarded a flight.
A Stoughton woman has been arrested on her 7th drunk driving charge. Police say 51-year-old Kelly Gibbons was stopped around 2:45 Sunday morning after an officer found the registration on the vehicle she was operating had been suspended. Gibbons exhibited signs of impairment, was arrested on a tentative charge of 7th offense operating while intoxicated.
The trial for a man who was renting a room from a woman who was found dead in her garage last year will start tomorrow. 54-year-old John Heyman is accused of killing 82-year-old Agnes Bram. She was found dead in her garage at her home on University Avenue last year. The medical examiner says Bram died from homicidal blunt force trauma to the head. Heyman is charged with first-degree intentional homicide.
Today was a very special day for a group of 11 inmates from the Oregon Correctional Center and Thompson Correctional Center in Deerfield.
They all graduated from a 15-week program in construction in hopes of landing a job when they're released into the community. Our Jamie Perez spoke with those inmates today about what this process has been like for them. Jamie?
Right, well, as you can imagine, today was a really special day for these 11 inmates. The past 15 weeks, not only have they been working on building structures, but they've also been building character. Their education is something they say no one can take away from them. They all had the opportunity to walk across the stage this afternoon amongst their peers, family, and friends. Many of them say this has been a tremendous learning opportunity for them and believe any inmate that goes through something like this while serving time will greatly reduce their chance of recidivism.
Sometimes mistakes can be the best thing for you, so I've learned the most from my mistakes while working, and I've learned the most through my mistakes from coming to prison. And I think there's a lot to be learned from this.
Many of the graduates still have time to serve before going out into the workforce, but many of them do already have jobs lined up when they are released. And coming up tonight at 6, some of the emotional speeches made during the ceremony, plus more from the biggest lessons learned from the inmates over the past 15 weeks.
Quite a turnaround for those folks.
Indeed.
Jamie, thank you. We look
Thanks,
forward
Jamie.
to it. Crews remained on scene overnight Sunday to continue ventilating the Bird's Eye food facility in Darien after an ammonia leak. 15 Bird's Eye Foods employees were taken to the hospital after that leak was reported inside the company's building. This was early yesterday morning. 75 employees were medically evaluated to be okay and were released at the scene. Officials say crews remained on scene overnight. About 2:30 this morning, turned it back over to Bird's Eye workers with acceptable air levels.
Starting today, smoking will be banned in all public housing. This comes as a new smoke-free housing rule goes into effect from the federal government. Officials say taking the clean air movement into multi-unit housing recognizes that the vast majority of people who want a smoke-free workplace also want their homes to be smoke-free. While this is a huge step forward for public health, the American Lung Association recognizes that quitting smoking or even cutting back can be a tremendous hurdle for some smokers, but experts say this is a nice start for smokers to try to quit.
They don't smoke as often or as much. They think about it a little bit more. It usually causes them to reflect, thinking, would this be a good opportunity for me to quit? Because we also know that about 70% of smokers want to quit, and this might provide the motivation they need.
As far as punishment, if you're caught smoking in public housing, officials say most places will start with a warning, but you could face fines or even get evicted. A new president and CEO of the Overture Center for the Arts has been announced. Sandra Gage was chosen through an international search guided by Arts Consulting Group. She has nearly 40 years of management experience in the private and public sectors, ranging from furniture manufacturing in Yugoslavia to public health administration in the United Kingdom and producing and presenting organizations in Canada. Former president and CEO of the Overture Center of the Arts, Ted Deedy, retired in May. Gage will start September 24th.
A fundraiser happening right now will benefit the family of fallen firefighter Captain Corey Barr. It's taking place at Monk's Bar and Grill in Sun Prairie. 100% of sales will be donated directly to the Barr family. He was killed in that July 10th explosion. For a full list of fundraisers that are happening across the area to support the victims of the Sun Prairie explosion, head to channel3000.com. More to come on News 3 at 5. Up next, Minneapolis police released body camera video of a fatal shooting from last month.
And firefighters say they are finally making progress on a deadly wildfire in California.
And on Wall Street, the stock market stumbles. The Dow losing 144 points. Big hit in the tech sector. The Nasdaq falls 107. The S&P 500 closed down 16. We'll be right back. Police in Minneapolis released dramatic body camera video of a fatal shooting last month.
Police responding to a 911 call about a man firing a gun encountered Thurman Blevins. Officers Justin Schmidt and Ryan Kelly repeatedly warned the 31-year-old to stop and drop his gun. Blevins yelled he did nothing wrong and, quote, "please don't shoot." The officers say they opened fire only after Blevins pointed his gun at them, and the Hennepin County attorney agreed the use of deadly force was justified. Just seconds into the prosecutor's news conference, protesters stopped things.
Every day, every year, we're the only people here looking for justice is just us, us black people.
Prosecutors say Officers Schmidt and Kelly fired 14 shots, hitting Blevins 4 times. The controversial shooting is the latest involving Minnesota police, including the 2016 death of Philando Castile.
A wrongful death lawsuit seeking $100 million in damages has been filed against the operator of that duck boat that sank on the lake near Branson, killing 17 people. Lawyers say the passengers might have survived if the Branson operators had not ignored a 2002 National Transportation Safety Board recommendation that all duck boat canopies be removed. The duck had 31 people on board when it left the shore July 19th as a severe storm whipped up intense winds and waves. The boat capsized and sank, killing 17, ages 1 to 76, including 9 members of the same family.
The board of directors at CBS met today amid allegations of sexual harassment against chairman and CEO Les Moonves. The meeting was scheduled prior to Friday's report in The New Yorker that detailed claims by 6 women of incidents from 1985 through 2006. 4 women accuse Moonves of forcibly touching or kissing them. All of them say their careers suffered after they rejected the advances, which Moonves denies.
The conversation ended, and he went from being very friendly to being really cold, and I never heard from him again.
The board issued a statement saying it's hiring outside counsel to conduct an independent investigation. Moonves' wife, CBS personality Julie Chen, says she's standing by the statement she made in support of her husband.
Firefighters in Northern California say they are finally making some progress against the wildfire near Redding that has killed 6 people now and forced more than 38,000 residents to evacuate. This fire's been raging for more than a week, devouring an area the size of Denver. Hundreds of homes have been destroyed. In some cases, entire neighborhoods have been wiped out. In the mountain town of Keswick, there's nothing but ash and rubble where homes once stood. Several evacuation orders were lifted today near Redding, but some residents say they were never told to leave. Ed Bledsoe's wife and 2 great-grandchildren died in the flames.
We had no idea. Nobody told us nothing. If I'd had any kind of warning, I'd have never, ever left my family in that house. I'd have made them go with me.
Shasta County authorities say people living in Redding were told to evacuate. They're investigating, however, to see if the Bledsoe home did in fact get a warning call.
President Trump hosted the Italian Prime Minister at the White House this afternoon, where they discussed illegal immigration. President Trump praised Giuseppe Conte for his tough stance on border security in Italy, and then issued a threat to Congress about America's own border.
I would have no problem doing a shutdown. It's time we had proper border security.
The president also said he's willing to meet with the leaders of Iran at any time and any place to talk about their nuclear program.
Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti back on the backyard patio talking about our forecast. A few pop-up showers out there on the way to work today, Gary.
Yeah, you know, in Verona, where I live, I mean, it came down really hard. The water was almost covering the curbs. And then about 5 miles away when I got here at the station, it was wet, but it really hadn't rained all that much. So it just depends on where you are. Let's start out by taking a look at visible cloud tracking. You see how these showers and storms popped up this afternoon. And we're going to see a very similar weather pattern for tomorrow and Wednesday. So the same thing. Much of the day will be dry. Then we'll see the thunderstorms pop up in the afternoon, and they will die down once the sun sets in the evening. Now, as we take a look at the last 48 hours, you can see many areas didn't pick up any rain at all, but there are a few areas picking up an inch or two of rain. One of our retired news photographers, Doug Wall, reported almost 2 inches of rain in Verona from the showers and storms yesterday and the storms that hit today. But you can see other areas not seeing much rain. There is a flood advisory for parts of Dodge County for some heavy thunderstorms there. there, and you can see some storms moving through Dodge County as well as south and east or south and west of Platteville, heading toward the Mississippi River in Grant County. In between, just a couple of pop-up showers and thunderstorms, and you can see across the Midwest as a whole, we're in the same pretty much weather pattern for everybody. So you know, hit and miss showers and thunderstorms. Just depends on where you are. High temperature trend over the next week. We're warming back up again. Temperatures will be above the 80-degree mark for the most part, and we'll see highs close to 90 on Saturday with breezy southwesterly winds. Live view from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville showing some breaks in the clouds. The showers and storms now moving south and west of Platteville. Live view from the WISC Skycam showing a little sunshine mixed in with the clouds. We just had some rain here not too long ago. The downtown Edgewater Skycam was showing some showers just a few minutes ago. It looks like the rain has stopped there. Temperature right now, Madison 72 with a thunderstorm at the airport. Winds out of the west at 9 miles per hour, and the dew point temperature at 60. Current temperatures are very dependent on whether or not you're getting some sunshine or whether you're seeing clouds and some showers. Where the clouds and showers are occurring, temperatures are in the 70s, like here in Madison. Where the sun is shining, Green Bay's at 80. You can see Marshfield at 83. Again, it's where you are. There's no rhyme or reason other than the fact that the upper level winds are very light. Notice they're from west to east to our south and from east to west to our north, so we're kind of right in between with very little movement in the upper levels of the atmosphere to move those showers and storms along. So they're just kind of drifting back toward the southwest. As we look at weather track across the rest of the country, you can see some showers and thunderstorms across the eastern part of the country. They don't need any more rain there. They've had flooding. And then out in the west where they could use the rain, the heat is just continuing to bake the western part of the country. Stationary front down to the south is where most of the humidity is, but the warmer temperatures are where there's a little more sunshine out to the west. Notice 94 right now in Glasgow, Montana. Also, our temperatures generally in the 70s and 80s. The dew point temperatures definitely are higher along and south of the Ohio River, where dew points are closer to 70 degrees. And on future track, you can see everything dying down for tonight and then popping up again tomorrow afternoon. Very similar to today, and we'll see the same thing happen on Wednesday as well. So for tonight, some shower and thunderstorm chances this evening, otherwise partly cloudy overnight with a low of 58. Tomorrow, partly sunny, warm, a high of 81, and a few showers and thunderstorms popping up in the afternoon. On future track, you can see the rain ending tonight. Temperatures dropping to the upper 50s. Highs tomorrow, lower 80s. A few showers and storms popping up in the afternoon, dying down in the evening as they just kind of drift away to the southwest, and then down to about 60 for tomorrow night, and back up to the lower 80s on Wednesday. Shower and thunderstorm chances return, especially late in the afternoon into Wednesday night and Thursday. In fact, as we take a look at the 7 to 10 day forecast, you'll see those temperatures generally in the lower 80s through the end of the week. Thunderstorm chances highest on Thursday, but then getting up close to 90 on Saturday, mid 80s through the early part of next week with some shower and thunderstorm chances, and then more heat, highs mid to upper 80s at the end of next week. As we take a look at first alert traffic, not a great day on the Beltline. That's the live view from the DOT camera at Todd Drive. The eastbound Beltline moving very, very slowly right now. Westbound, not too bad in that vicinity, but there are some delays on the westbound Beltline around Park Street. Also some delays on US 151 through downtown Madison, and also on US 12 heading northward out of Middleton. As far as traffic times are concerned right now, 48 minutes on the eastbound Beltline from University Avenue to the interstate, 18 minutes back in the westbound direction. Heading out of Madison, about 28 minutes down to Janesville on I-3990 from the Beltline, 21 minutes to Sauk City on Highway 12, and 19 minutes out to Sun Prairie on East Washington Avenue, US 151. That's your first alert traffic.
All right, thank you, Gary. Welcome back. Good to have you back.
Thank you.
Still ahead on News Street 5, a new study looks at the effects of drinking alcohol while breastfeeding. We'll tell you what moms need to know. That's after a short break.
News
A new study looks at whether alcohol or smoking while breastfeeding can affect a child's cognitive development.
Nikki Batiste has the findings.
Come here. Erica Rothenstein makes breastfeeding her 9-month-old daughter Savannah a priority. That includes limiting alcohol.
I do have a drink of wine every now and then. I am a mom of 2. I wouldn't go out and have, 3, 4, 5 drinks and then feed my baby.
New research shows she has the right idea. A study in pediatrics finds exposing babies to alcohol through breast milk may cause reductions in cognitive abilities.
There may be cognitive deficits in children in the ages of 6 to 7 years old if the mom consumes alcohol while breastfeeding. They don't see those same results in the ages 10 to 11.
The study of 5,000 babies from Australia finds children's reasoning test scores are lowest for mothers who drink the most. While the association is small, researchers say it could be significant for breastfeeding moms who binge drink or drink regularly. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends limiting alcohol and refraining from drinking 2 hours or less before breastfeeding.
To be very limited.
Pediatrician Dr. Alyssa Rubin says she tells new moms an occasional glass of wine is okay, as long as they drink a lot of water and eat a full meal.
If she feels any of the effects of the alcohol in her system, she should not breastfeed. She should pump that milk and discard it because it's not safe for the baby.
This is liquid gold, so I don't really want to throw it away. So I am really mindful of what I put in my body.
Erica says the benefits of breastfeeding are worth it for her baby. Nikki Batiste, CBS News, Mineola, New York.
The study shows that while breastfeeding does not change smoking does not change cognitive outcomes, but pediatricians say it is still a very good idea to avoid smoking.
All right, stay with us. We'll have one more check of the weather when we return.
Okay.
There's some popcorn showers out there.
Yeah, they're hit and miss, and where it's raining, you can see that the temperatures are a little cooler here in Madison. We've dropped to 68 while it's 80 in Lone Rock. They haven't had any rain there yet. You can see the shower and thunderstorms popping up around the area, but about 80% of the viewing area not seeing any rain right now. Temperatures will be very similar for tomorrow and Wednesday, with mainly afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms, lower 80s. Thursday, best chance of rain, high of about 80, and then temperatures warm up to the mid to upper 80s beginning this weekend and lasting through much of next week. Just some chances of showers and thunderstorms Sunday and Monday.
All right, Gary, thanks. CBS Evening News is next. We're back in 30 minutes for News 3 at 6.